Alright, welcome back. Okay, so to help us see all of this better, what we need to do is look at this beginning passage here in chapter 13, verse number 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Alright, now what we need to understand first is that we have this beginning of this beast that is rising up out of the sea. What he is rising up out of the sea with is these beginning 7 heads, and then after the 7 heads we see that 10 horns emerge. Well, what we need to understand first is that what we're experiencing right now is the beginning, the emergence of this New World Order. We are seeing what the fulfillment of this verse right here. So we are beginning to see the beast rise up, but we're going to detail what this beast is a lot better. First thing what we need to see here is that this beast has 7 heads, which the 10 horns come out of. And we'll look at this a little further here in a moment. But what you have to understand is that there has to be these 7 heads first. And these 7 heads create the conditions in which the 10 horns can arise. And then we'll see later that the Antichrist is called the little horn, and he arises after the 10 horns have already appeared. So that in itself will tell us that this is not Obama that we have now, because Obama is the one who predates these 10 horns, which I told you will be these 10 Palestinian states that will surround Israel. But the information is a lot deeper. I'm just trying to prepare you here for what we have. So we have the emergence of the New World Order, which is the setting of the stage to create the conditions that these 10 horns can arise. So what are these 7 heads? All right, well, this is a possibility. I'm going to show you what I think these 7 heads are right now. Now, a lot of people try to equate this to either the United Nations, the EU, or possibly the G7. And the G7 is a group of the 7 strongest industrial-based nations. Now, what I'm here to tell you is that it's different than that in this respect, that it's not any one of these individual groups that would be, like the EU is a global group. Okay, the United Nations is a global group. The G7 is a global group. So those 3 right there, they're working for a global agenda. All right, so it's not that it's any one individual, meaning the United Nations itself is these 7 heads, or the European Union, because a lot of people say the UN Security Council could be the 7 heads. Well, that's wrong. What I want you to see is that it's quite possibly these 7 organizations, these 7 global affiliations that are all based either militarily or economically. These are what's leagued together as the 7 heads in which this New World Order will arise from, and they go as follows. Number 1 is the UN. Number 2 is the EU, which would be the European Union. Number 3 would be the G7, which is those leagued together industrial nations of which our country is a part of. Number 4 would be NATO, the military. Number 5 would be CFR, which would be the Commission of Foreign Relations. And number 6 would be the TLC, which would be the Trilateral Commission. And number 7 would be the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, which would be the world banking system. So all of these either cover economics or they cover the military, and they are all based and working for the same thing, which is the global agenda. This is where our New World Order arises from. These are, in my opinion, the 7 heads. I'll be back.